What's up, y'all? So, back out here, and I think I may have been a victim of my own rule. What I mean by that is, I'm a man, and a real man admits when he's wrong, right? I go on, all the time when people ask questions about why the vehicle might be swaying. I always give out these little, tips and suggestions, try to help people out, because that's what I do. I'm trying to change somebody's life. And I always tell them, hey, why don't you check this, check this. But one thing I always say is make sure all your nuts and bolts pertaining to your suspension and your steering are torqued and torqued properly using proper torque procedures. And I've made that other video with the pitman arm nut that I found, I made it about a year ago, that I found that was very loose. It was only finger tight. And that pitman arm nut has to be 184 foot-pounds and with Loctite. And I did that. And I made another video and I also said that whenever you come off the trail, when you do a long trip, or even after a period of time after having a repair or doing an upgrade that involves suspension and steering, always check for torque. Make sure everything's torqued properly, right? So, okay, cool. So I made this video a few weeks ago where I installed the adjustable track bar on my Jeep after 120-something thousand miles, right? Everything's cool. Then I noticed it still got a little bit of movement in it and everything, a little bit of sway. So I got up under this thing and I was like, it still should be tighter than that. I upgraded that and everything. Yeah. So something came to mind. The steering gear bolts, right? So I get up under there, take a look, because they're supposed to be 99 foot-pounds. Throw the old torque wrench on it, cranked it down all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to turn it down and see what it is. Yeah. Now the 4 bolts I'm talking about is that one, that one, that one, and that one. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, because if you've ever worked on a Jeep or any vehicle before, but since we're talking about Jeeps, you should know what those 4 bolts are for. Your track bar goes under there, mounts to that mount. If you got a Yeti or Steer Smarts or a Synergy sector shaft brakes, man, these tongue twisters are killing me. It bolts over that. That's what keeps it in, but I don't have one. Never needed it. But either way, these are the 4 bolts I'm talking about. This one was 85, 75, 88, and the one you can't see back up in there was 36. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them down to 99 foot-pounds, and we're gonna take it out and see what it does. Now y'all see how many turns it took me before I can get that torque wrench to click? That's just how much they're out of spec. Especially that top right one. Pretty bad. 36 foot-pounds, yeah. So we're gonna take this thing out on the road, see if it does anything. I'll hit y'all back in a second. See you in a minute. So we just rode about maybe 4 miles or something like that, and it seems to be riding pretty good. No jerking the movements. It wasn't that bad already, but it cut pretty much out. So you would think that just bolts wouldn't make that big of a difference, but it obviously does. But that's why they give you the torque specifications for a reason. They tell you that for a reason. And my front end links aren't connected because I just jumped in and took off and forgot to connect them back up. So I'm getting a chance to see how it acts even with those disconnected. It's got a lot of roll from side to side, but other than that. And I know y'all hear the roaring noise in the background. Yeah, that's because these Yokos got about 47,000 miles on them. They got a lot of tread left, but they are beat up from traveling, towing, hauling, off-road, wheeling, crawling, whichever one you want to call it. These tires have been through them all, so they stood the test of time. Alright y'all, so I'm back after making my little short road trip to check this thing out. So here's the deal. And let me throw this out there up front. I promise I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, because I know a lot of y'all out there are doing your own work. You got a close friend, a shop that you trust to do your work. So I'm really not trying to insult anybody's intelligence by talking about something that everybody knows about. So I promise you. So don't take it that way. I don't want to offend anybody. But I've said over and over, multiple times, please check your stuff for proper torque and torque procedures. And I have to constantly remind myself. And this is just one perfect example. So having said that, it made a difference. I noticed when I got out there and I got a chance to open it up, you know, that it's not as jerky. It wasn't that bad anyway, but it tightened it up even more. The steering is tighter, so hey, just tightening up those bolts made a big difference. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I thought about to check it, first of all. But I'm glad I did it. And now I can roll till I check them again in another couple thousand or so miles. And you know, I know back in the day you used to work on Uncle Bubba's truck and you can get away with tightening up finger tight or tightening up where you think it's good. But guess what? In this day and age on these newer vehicles, especially if you got anything made after pretty much 1980, yeah, you gotta follow the procedures. You know what I mean? And guess what? All of this information is pretty much on the internet. You can go on the internet, the dealership, or just about anywhere and find out what the specifications are, find out what the procedures are for each nut and bolt on these vehicles these days. So I urge y'all, periodically, please go and check your stuff and make sure everything's caught up. It can save you a few dollars and maybe a trip to the shop and check it yourself. Buy the tools, and hey, get under there and buy the tools and hey, get under there and check it yourself. And not only could you get maybe some of your problems fixed, you never know, but you can also learn something. And that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to teach each other, to help each other. And if you see something in this video that can help everybody else, please drop it in the comments. See something, say something, let everybody know so we can learn together. Hey, there's been another tip for the day. Pass the message on to somebody who might need to see it, might need to hear it, might need to know something about it. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep helping each other out, taking care of each other. Don't forget to smile, stay safe, and go out and change your life, y'all. Peace out.